Put that coffee down.
Explain that a bit more, because I think we make a lot of assumptions. Talk to us, please, in the comments. If you're listening, just the audio, jump onto the YouTube, find the YouTube video, let us know in the comments, because I think we make assumptions about the audience is that they're all Salesforce people, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And I think that you explain a lot of things. You just kind of gloss over a lot of things, right? That I think could be explained. So equity and giving it in the company, like, to what extent do you give that away, and what does that look like in reality?
Probably overly aggressively.
Okay.
So we have a employee share option program. So very expensive, time consuming to set up because there are like regulatory things that you have to have. But essentially, people have options in our company, right? So, like they're basically given a chunk of it, right? Now that has what's called a vesting period, which is like, you have to work here for 36 months. Once you're here for 36 months, you own that piece of the company, right? And that can be however much we dictate, right? So we have key stakeholders, and then we have, who have equity. So which the main is me, Marco, and James. Like, we have the largest equity stake. And then from there, we have like some other shareholders. And then from there, we have our ESOP, right? And so like I own like 35%. Of the company. You know what I mean? I could own 100, but I mean, like how invested are the people going to be?
Yeah.
Like,
So
they're just going to get another offer.
Yeah.
No matter how cool I am.
So the whole reason you do that is to give people skin in the game, and so that they're here beyond, I get paid to be here, but beyond, they have a piece of it. A piece of this is theirs.
Yeah.
And they're as invested in its success beyond their paycheck. There's more beyond that.
Yeah. So the way the archaic way of describing it is called golden handcuffs.
Yeah.
Right. So like, let's say I give someone 2% of the company, whatever. Right. Now they might get, it'd be in shares. Let's just call it like 100,000 shares. Right. So they would have a 3-year vesting period, and I might say, hey, you've done really well. I'm going to give you 25% of your shares with an immediate vest, like a 48-hour vest. So it's like, sweet. In 48 hours from the time that we enact that, you own 25% of those shares. They're yours. They're good to go. You could technically transact them, but that is now on your wealth ticket, right?
Yeah.
Because it's valued at whatever it is per share. So you got that for free. You know what I mean? And there's ways that we have to structure that so it doesn't fuck people's taxes.
Yeah, I was going to say, so that's kind of the issue, like, for people listening, they may not realize that if you gave me half of this company right now,
you would get an enormous tax bill.
You would bankrupt me in doing so.
Yes. Yeah. Big time. But there are ways in which you can structure that to where that doesn't happen, right? And employee share option programs are designed to be like that. So it's not just giving you chunks of equity. It does not how it works, right? So, and then I could go, okay, you get another 50%, 24 months after that, and then you get the remaining 25%, 12 months after that. So it's 3 years. You could do 10 years, 5 years, whatever. And everyone can be different. Like, it's the beautiful thing. There's very little rules with an ESOP as long as you have it structured correctly. So, but in doing that, it's like, let's say I have a rock star like a Will Hinkson, right? I pay him very good money, but he might get another offer. But then he's like, oh man, but I'm 12 months away from getting my shares vested. It's like, fuck. So I'm giving up on all of this to take more income. So I'm giving up on wealth to take more income. And then what you can do is you can come to me and go, I've been made this offer, and then we can match it or we can not. Or we can, have a bump or whatever, or even provide more shares. Go, if you knock that back and don't take a higher thing, I'll give you another 50,000 shares. And it's like, oh, fuck, all right, cool. With a 12-month vest at the end of that, So it gives you kind of like options in order to keep really good people. Also, like, those are dividend-paying shares. So it means that, like, at the end of every financial year, we have all the profit. So everyone's incentivized to not only grow the revenue, but grow the profit because they get their share in the profit. And then if we ever IPO or exit or ever, then they would participate in that as well. And so it's like, we're all kind of like, and my job is kind of like the rah-rah sis boom ba dude, is to buy in everyone on the ultimate vision, which is like the value of their shares. And it's like the decisions that we're making are designed to increase the value of the company of which you have a stake in, So it's like, when I give you your initial shares, they're worth 10 cents a share. In 5 years, I want them to be worth 72 cents a share. Hence, you have 7.2 times the amount of wealth just by staying in the company, you know? And so it kind of like, it kind of bonds everyone together.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think that's one of the things that sort of makes others feel a little bit more interested in the accountability of their peers, right?
Yeah.
Because like, hey, if you don't perform, it's not just you that is affected. I'm affected by your underperformance.
Yeah.
Therefore, like, I will invest in you. I'll help you rather than just watch you fuck it up or like hope that you get fired, because you probably, it's very unlikely that you will. So we need to work cohesively to push the machine forward.
And the way that we did it is somewhat interesting. I don't even know how much detail I can go in, but fuck it, whatever.
Put that coffee down.
New episodes released every week on your favorite podcast app, or you can watch them on YouTube.